life where that is concerned, moving through new aspects of your life where that is concerned, and opening up to a greater depth within yourself where that is concerned, opening up to a greater depth of loving, honoring, and valuing yourself, opening up to a greater depth of valuing who you are. And what is most important to understand, dear ones, now that you move into your month of June in the year of 2021, dear ones, is value. What do you value, dear ones? What is most important to in your life, dear ones? It is about value. It is about valuing the depth and breadth of who you are. It's about valuing the depth and breadth of your talents, gifts, and abilities where that is concerned. And as you move into a greater depth of valuing yourself, you move into a greater depth of fulfillment of self where that is concerned. Because then you move into a powerfulness of self in the soul space where that is concerned. You begin to formulate it, understand in your heart space, in your soul space, who you truly are. So in many ways, you move into your month of June, year of 2021, dear one. It's a moving into a greater depth of understanding and knowing who you truly are. So the question we have for each and every one of you now is, who are you at this very moment in time, at this juncture in your human incarnation where that is concerned, in the moment of now? Who are you now where that is concerned, dear ones? So it's about opening up your heart to the physical beingness of yourself, opening up your heart to the mental beingness of yourself, opening up your heart to the spiritual beingness of yourself, and most important, opening up to the aspects of the emotional beingness of yourself where that is concerned, and beginning to feel yourself, dear one. Beginning to feel yourself in your body, dear ones. Beginning to feel yourself in the energetic realm of the third dimensional realm, in the new beingness of who you are, resonating and vibrating at a higher level than many have ever thought of before where that is concerned. So in many ways, dear ones, as you now move into the second half of your year of 2021, beginning in this month of June where that is concerned, it's a greater depth of moving into the beingness of the self. As we have spoken to you many, many times before, dear ones, it's about looking at what you are doing in the world. Many have released their incessant doing in the world. They're overextending themselves. The incessant release of energy, of the energy that you are expending on doing, that is really simply allowing you to avoid where you are, to avoid who you are. So now we ask you, as you move into your month of June, dear ones, to simply move into the beingness of self. Allow yourself to move into the beingness of who you are, the beingness of self. Allow yourself to simply be in this month of June as you now move into the second half, in the midpoint of your year of 2021 where that is concerned. It is about moving into the silence of the self where that is concerned. Continue on your pathway in the outer world, in the third dimensional realm. But within that, learning how to contain the energy of the self where that is concerned, and where you are within yourself where that is concerned. It's about opening up to the depth and breadth of your heart space into the full beingness of who you are. The culmination in many ways for many of looking at their doingness, at looking at where their attachments are in the third dimension realm. Many have now released much of that where that is concerned, and as they are moving through the period of time where much out in the third dimension realm may not resonate for them any longer. What they are doing may not resonate for them any longer. Who they were being may not resonate any longer. So it's a shift in the full beingness of self where that is concerned, and now raising your resonance and vibration of self where that is concerned. In many ways, the old doing was to look outside of yourself for validation and gratification where that is concerned. And now that you no longer need that, you no longer need the validation and the gratification from outside of you, and moving into the beingness of yourself, the parameters, the vision, the periphery of the third dimension realm may not make any sense to you any longer, because you no longer need it for validation and gratification. You no longer need it to give you a sense of self where that is concerned. So as many move into the month of June and continue to release attachment to the third dimensional realm, they are finding a new meaning, value, and purpose to who they are. More so what we're focusing on in this month of June, we're asking for you to focus on this month of June is value. What do you value about yourself? What do you value about your talents and gifts and abilities? Do you value yourself? Do you value yourself in relationships with others? Do you value your talents, gifts, and abilities? It is now about seeing your value as you move into the midpoint of your year of 2021, moving into the second half of a year, where what will transpire in your life, much will come to fruition, that aspects of what you've always asked for, always in your vernacular prayed for, much of that will begin to coming to fruition, but quite possibly not how you ever envisioned it. Because the envisioning of living your life is all based upon living from the soul perspective in your soul's divine plan. When you allow yourself to release your attachments to the third dimensional realm, you're fully then allowing yourself to be within your soul's divine plan where that is concerned. And then through the powerfulness of knowing who you are, honoring who you are, valuing who you are, and loving who you are, you then move to a place of self-empowerment to then make your choices moving forward, knowing that you can move into the creation of whatever it is you say you want, but allowing it to formulate in your soul's divine plan to be what it will be, where that is concerned, all based upon where you are now in the incarnation of the third dimensional realm, whether it's in the human form. So that is why we begin, dear ones, as you make the transition from your first half of your year of 2021 into the second half of your year of 2021, in the midpoint, at the midpoint of your in your month of June, where that is concerned, is to begin with value. And as we move forward, dear ones, as you come to us and we come to you, this wonderful, most glorious time in your lifetime in the third dimensional realm, in the incarnation in the human form, we will begin, dear one, with a series of teachings of looking at how you value yourself, looking at how you love yourself, and looking at how you honor yourself where that is concerned. So in this month of June, we begin with value. We ask you to look at how you value yourself. Are you valuing yourself? It is most important to understand the concept of value where that is concerned. The concept of value is moving within, seeing you, knowing you, looking at all the aspects of you. So what we ask you to do, dear ones, in this month of June is to simply write down 5 aspects of yourself that you honor, value, and love about yourself, that raises your resonance and vibration. Look at your life. Look at your relationships that raise your resonance and vibration. The reason why those relationships that you have chosen to be in raise your resonance and vibration is because you have moved on an inner pathway and doing the work within yourself to raise your resonance and vibration, to realize through the love of self what champions your highest good, what honors your highest good, who values you, and the input that you have in relationships. So we ask you to look at your relationships, dear ones, and simply look to see if you're looking for gratification and validation from those relationships. Look at what is transpiring in the world outside of yourself and your interactions with what is transpiring in the world outside of yourself, and ask yourself the question, am I still seeking validation and gratification? Many have released that. Many have released those attachments to the world outside of yourself. Looking for validation and gratification from outside of yourself, dear ones, is a simple definition of attachments to the third dimensional realm. When I look outside of myself, when I look at this relationship that I'm having with this wonderful and most glorious soul, am I looking for validation and gratification? That, dear ones, is what an attachment is. Placing your attachment outside of yourself on something to get something from it. If in fact I give myself away in this relationship, if in fact I take care of that wonderful and most glorious soul's needs, the attachment with that is, then I will be loved. So look, dear ones, at anything that you are doing with others in your life and look to see if there are attachments with that. Am I doing this to prove to others that I am worthy to be loved? These are samples and examples of attachments, dear ones. So it is important to look now at your attachments to see if there are still attachments in your life based upon looking outside of yourself in the third dimensional realm where that is concerned. Am I seeking validation and gratification outside of myself? Am I seeking a sense of self of who I am outside of myself where that is concerned? Many are now moving to a place, as we ask these questions, of now fully understanding what all of this means. So it is why, dear one, we bring you these brand new definitions to give you examples of what attachments are, of looking for validation and gratification. Many now are beginning to fully understand the concepts of all of this and are now moving from the concepts into their heart space because they are moving into the fullness of the beingness of who they are where that is concerned. So as you move into your month of June, dear ones, we simply ask you to now look at your value. Do you value yourself? Do you value who you are? Do you value yourself in relationships? Do you see, dear ones, through the value of the beingness of yourself, what you bring to the world outside of you, what you bring to the relationship with whom you're having, whatever relationship you're having with other wonderful and most glorious souls, dear ones? Because in many cases, dear ones, they see your value and you may not see your value. So many now are awakening to their value. Many now are awakening to the value of who they are and who they are being.